Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today for modern dating here. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate it. That's good at Chow. It's Chow time.
Defendant is not full of money. That is the whole reason we're here. We need spousal support.
We have discovered the prenuptial that was signed in 1991, just prior to these parties getting married, which addresses the spousal support.
The prenup, therefore, cannot be material to helping balance the parties' incomes and needs.
At this point, grant plaintiff's motion and will consider the prenuptial agreement at the time of the remand hearing.
My man.
And as a result, the defendant's motion in limine will be denied. You're free to go. Have a good day.
They previously went to court where it was determined the support he should give her, but on that hearing they didn't include the prenup as he couldn't find it. However, she didn't agree with the amount she was getting, so she took him to court again for more, but she was unaware that he already found the prenup, and this happened.
For newly discovered evidence and defendant's motion in limine, Mr. Schaefer, you can proceed, and why don't you address both of them at the same time? We don't have to jump back and forth.
I think the record is clear, at least from our perspective. We have discovered the prenuptial that was signed in 1991, just prior to these parties getting married, which addresses the spousal support issue in paragraph 7. That was discovered.
See, guys, this is why you have a prenup. You never know when you're going to need it. Obviously, this gentleman needed it when he was in his 70s and 80s.
33
years.
After the proofs at the trial level have been completed and during the process that defendant had appealed the ruling of the court. I think it's relevant. The court didn't give it whatever weight it wants, but it's certainly relevant to the spousal support issue. Thank you.
That's a good point. Since it was found, it should be added to the equation. It's a valid document that will change the direction of things.
True.
Thank you. Ms. Capture?
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I would like to state that I think there was a misrepresentation by plaintiff here. The spousal support issue is not before the court. In fact, the Court of Appeals was very specific. The only thing the court is supposed to be doing is balancing the parties' incomes and needs. Those incomes and needs have already been presented to the court during the course of the trial in this case. And
so lawyers trying to say, what prenup?
Therefore, the spousal support itself is not at issue. The factors have already gone through. The prenup would have been an objection or a defense, perhaps, to spousal support, but it was never raised during the course of the proceedings. The prenup, therefore, cannot be material to helping balance the parties' incomes and needs.
I think she should separate things. Why was she mixing prenup and balancing the parties' income and needs? Those subjects should be addressed individually. Once the prenup was found, it shouldn't be dismissed as she was trying to do. Both knew she signed and what it meant, but still, her lawyer wanted to pretend that it didn't count.
Yep.
Lastly, Your Honor, or moreover, we have stated that plaintiff has waived his right to bring the prenup. This is a concept, the raise or waive concept is something followed in Michigan courts. People v. Pipes states that in order to properly preserve an issue for appeal, a defendant must raise objections at the time when the trial court has an opportunity to correct the error. Again, we have gone through an entire trial in this matter. The plaintiff had numerous occasions to bring up the issue of a prenup and never did. The parties' incomes and needs have already been presented to the court. There's been ample evidence presented. And this is simply a new issue that plaintiff has created costs and additional hardship on defendant. And again, defendant is not full of money. That is the whole reason we're here. We need spousal support. The spousal support that was awarded previously was inequitable and unfair to defendant, and she is essentially barely getting by having to dip into whatever property award that she was.
Why did she leave in the first place? What is she gonna go do? What grass is greener right now? Like, This is like the Billy Goat gruff thing. Like, you old lady.
Given.
Her lawyer said she is barely surviving financially, and then goes on to say that she has to dip into the property she received in settlement. So it sounds like she has something to work with, but wants more to add to whatever she already has. She knew she signed a prenup. They both knew of the prenup agreement. They couldn't find it at first, and they found it now. Justice is never too late to come. So once a divorce is finalized and spousal support set, you can go back and ask for more? They were both adults when they signed the prenup. Why even showing up in court? Isn't alimony and spousal support the same thing?
Yep.
Your Honor, I would like to suppress the prenup because it is not in my client's favor.
Pretty much is what she said.
Well, in this case, the court has read all the pleadings, and the court does note that, again, there was no ill will or nefarious basis by plaintiff for presenting this motion at this time. Clearly, if they could have brought it up at the time of trial, they would have, as that would have directly addressed the issue of the spousal support. And there's multiple cases that discuss newly discovered evidence that was not able to be discovered at the time of trial, which they weren't, or the court does believe they would have brought it up at that particular time. A prenuptial agreement would be applicable to the factors under Sparks v. Sparks at 440 Mich 141 and 1992 case, which the court must consider as whether to grant or deny spousal support. And so as a result, the court, recognizing the defendant's objection, would at this point grant plaintiff's motion and will consider the prenuptial agreement at the time of the remand hearing.
My judge. Now this is like the fourth video that we've seen this judge. Quite fair. He's not too, he is a little biased to women. He does give them a little bit of assistance, I've noticed. But overall, his judgment is very clear cut.
And as a result, the defendant's motion in limine will be denied at this particular time. I'll ask Mr. Schaefer, you prepare an appropriate order. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Life isn't fair, but this ruling was fair.
Yeah.
Prenup's a prenup no matter when signed. She appealed hoping to get more support, and now she may get no support?
Yep.
Rough blow. But she knew this prenup existed.
Greedy.
She took the risk. Emotions do not count. The law does. She accepted the prenup and signed it. Lots of unanswered questions of what led to the divorce and what relationship they had.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty
but
old.
The court was correct in the ruling here. I think the ex-wife, who knew about the prenup all along, let enough time pass until she was comfortable in her thinking that he'd lost his prenup.
Yeah.
Then she asked for more. Big mistake.
I think it was some kind of power play. I agree with this exact statement.
If I had a prenup, I would make sure I had it in a safe place like a bank deposit box and could retrieve it quickly. Too bad it was not provided at the time it should have been. Better late than never, I suppose.
Yeah.
Plaintiff has waived his right to bring the prenup. The plaintiff had numerous occasions to bring up the issue of a prenup and never did.
It wasn't included previously because he couldn't find it. And I don't know why she is trying to make a case that it shouldn't be added to the process when it's vital information for their case. The best part is that both knew about this prenup, and they also know that the outcomes of their previous hearing would have been completely different if he had that document.
Yep.
But still, they decided to come to court again to get more.
At this point, grant plaintiff's motion and will consider the prenuptial agreement at the time of the remand hearing. And as a result, the defendant's motion in limine will be denied.
That was a good verdict.
Good.
Even though her lawyer was trying to get the judge to ignore it, he was able to understand that the only reason this evidence wasn't presented on the first hearing was that he couldn't find it. So since he has it on his position, it should matter, and obviously added to the process. One thing we can't ignore is the fact that she signed it, and it should mean something. This is what they should take into account. It was interesting that her lawyer was acting as if he shouldn't bring the prenuptial agreement to this hearing, but this is not how things work. That document matters no matter when it was presented, and she knows it. She should have come up with a better argument as trying to get a judge to dismiss it, just because.
That's why I feel like some women, like lawyers, try to use their womanly abilities to, curry favors in these types of judgments.
Because it doesn't favor her
Just me.
client isn't a good reason.
I want you to come to your senses and understand what's going on and that it's not a big deal.
I don't understand, or is you don't understand.
You don't understand what a prenup is. It's everything before the marriage. Once you get married, you share everything after that. No problem.
I know.
Yeah, okay, then what's the problem?
That's a great question. If you know that a prenup will protect the assets he acquired before knowing you, why are you upset?
And it's literally that. Everything afterwards, we can't hide from you. Everything that we earn, everything that we buy property-wise, unless we're putting into, trusts and things like that, you will be a part of it. So you're not going to get nothing. Stop telling women that they get nothing from prenups. Or whoever's telling women
feel
this.
that it is her way or the highway, and there's not as much compromise as I would like to see. And look, I'm
Then
a
you walk
pleaser,
away.
and I want her to be happy, but I
Who
need to be
cares?
happy as well. Whether she signs the prenup or not, I think the dynamic in the relationship does need to change. She's calling me. Hello?
Why'd you do this to me?
If she's having a breakdown over a prenup, then he definitely needs to get one signed.
100%.
Hold your ground, man. Prenup or walk away. If prenup is an issue, she is the issue. A girl that intends to stay by your side won't care, because you won't break up anyway. He knows exactly why she's with him. She knows what a prenup is. A prenup is understandable. He wants to protect his assets, but this also protects her. If they were to get a divorce, she will get alimony and whatnot. Based
True.
on how she acted, I know for sure she is a smart woman. Why was she mad at him when he clearly explained it would protect whatever he had before their relationship? Why was she concerned with the assets he acquired before meeting her? If she didn't have her eyes on them, a prenup wouldn't be a problem. And this is everything this young man needed to know. But as always, most pretend they didn't notice the signs. And later, they will be the first to act shocked when they see the other side of the person they are with. I know for sure she most likely would do the same things if she was in his shoes. For those who feel the need to get a prenuptial agreement, if you find yourself in a similar situation where your partner is having a breakdown over this subject, that's your
Walk
sign
away.
to get it done. You need to get it before marrying that person, as they have their eyes on your assets. We all know those who have no intention of the things you have acquired prior to meeting them.
Broke, dusty, musty, crusties. There's a lot of them out there. Protect yourselves.
Wouldn't mind a prenuptial agreement. In fact, they would encourage it as they see it as fair, since
True.
they didn't contribute to its acquisition.
Prenups and maternity fraud makes women act the exact same way. They're gonna use that trust issue, that you don't trust me. Oh, you're already planning on breaking things up. It's just like that. So this is how women gaslight men into thinking the things that we are unsure of, the things that we don't know for sure, that we don't have the information for, that we're crazy for wanting it because we should trust them. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I think here's the time.